I'm Kelli Ellsworth Etchison, and I am a Meridian Township homeowner and work here at LAFCU as the Chief Marketing Officer. Well, I actually started at another credit union back in '84 when I was 3, and I started as a loan clerk. So I and just kind of worked my way up through the ranks, became a loan interviewer, and then I went into home equity. This is after I arrived here at LAFCU, and then I started as business development officer in the marketing area, so taking the credit union really kind of outside of the 4 walls and going to employers and presenting the credit union's products and services. And that kind of developed into a public relations role, and I've done some training here, and here I am now. I run the marketing department, and I've been at LAFCU for about 32 years. My education takes me like kind of a long way but I originally grew up in Pontiac, and so I came to Michigan State in '82. And I went there for about 3 years, but like a lot of young people, I wasn't real focused. During that time frame, my father, in '85, my father passed away. So during that time frame, I was really unfocused. And so I was starting now working as a loan clerk, and I was all excited as a young person. It's like, oh, I got a full-time job, I've got benefits, and so losing that focus after the death of my father, and I just started working. And so I left school, and my mom was not happy. After 3 years at Michigan State, like any parent would not be happy with that choice. And but I circled back around many years later and finished my degree because I felt something was unfinished. And even though I had rose through the ranks at the credit union, without my degree, I still felt like I needed to finish that, and I really wanted to finish it for my mom. I was the only child of hers that went to college, and so I just needed to see that through for her. And so that's what I did, but I ended up going back and finishing my degree at Northwood University, just mainly because it just suited my work schedule, and I was very involved and still am in the community. And so that just kind of fit my lifestyle at that time. I started some of my community service actually in Grand Ledge. I served on the Grand Ledge Chamber of Commerce Board probably in the early 2000s, and I got involved in Rotary Club of Lansing in 2002. I have a wonderful mentor, Rochelle Neal, who also resides in Meridian Township. She owns Capital Research Services in East Lansing. And she's been a great mentor of mine, and so she sponsored me into Rotary, and that started a whole lot of things. And during my stint with Rotary, I was over the youth exchange program for about 6 years, and that was a really amazing program. And then so I've been involved with Capital Area United Way in the past, the Mayor Drug-Free Youth Committee, that helped young people get a second chance if they, was caught shoplifting or they were doing drugs and they just needed a second chance to get on the right path. And so I did that for a little bit. I've been on the YMCA Board of Directors for 12 years, and I was their first African American female that served as a board chair. And I'm on the LCC Foundation Board currently. Just recently got on the Lansing Promise Board. My passion is youth and making sure that young people understand financial literacy, what that impact could be with regards to savings or lack of savings, and how that impacts their life, understanding budgeting and credit and credit scores. And so that really is a passion of mine. I've been able to create some scholarship programs here at LAFCU, which I'm really proud of because those will last long after I've retired from LAFCU, to be able to help young people get scholarships to go back to school or to go to school. And so we have a program for women going back to school, and then we have one for high school seniors that are going to college. And we wanted to make sure for our high school seniors, when I was developing that program, I wanted to really make sure that we had a scholarship program that wasn't financial needs based or wasn't GPA based, because I really wanted people to have an opportunity that maybe they're not great test takers and that impacts their grades, but they do want to learn a trade, or they want to get certified, or they want to get an associate's degree. And so we just created a one-page essay, and we give them a topic that they need to address, and then we do a selection process. So we have a committee that reads all of the essays and vote from there. And then I am currently a proud commissioner with the Dr. Martin Luther King Commission of Mid-Michigan. And I've done that probably for maybe 5 or 6 years. And so we just come off of our huge annual day of celebration where we honor Dr. Martin Luther King, and we broke a record and had 1,800 in attendance at that luncheon. It's the largest one-day event honoring Dr. Martin Luther King on his birthday. And so I think I might have touched everything. I might have forgotten a thing or two. And I'm involved in my church. I'm on our leadership program, and my husband and I, we are over our cleaning team. So at the end of the day, I want to make sure that the Lord's house is clean for the congregants. And so I go from chief marketing officer to cleaning toilets. I'm really proud to have received the Community Service Award from the NAACP, the Lansing chapter. I received the International Athena Award from the Grand Ledge Chamber of Commerce. I have received the Sojourner Truth Award for my community service, and that came from the Greater Lansing chapter of Negro Professional Business Women, the Greater Lansing chapter. And so I'm really proud of that. And on February 27th, the Lansing Regional Chamber of Commerce is also recognizing my body of work in the community, and they're honoring me with the Community Service Award. And so I'm really honored and humbled by that. You serve, serve, and you don't think about getting awards. And so I'm a servant at heart, and I think we just all should give back and pay it forward. I think it's always important to just remember where we've come from and people that have paved the way, so that I can sit in this position and I can receive the different honors. And just in our local, community, I think of someone like Paula Cunningham that have done remarkable things in our community, and she certainly have paved the way for me. And in our Rotary Club, we have Helen Mickens, who's retired from Cooley Law School, and she was the first African American president of the Lansing Rotary Club, and so I certainly respect and recognize the women that in our local community that have made it possible, for me. We have, Lisa Webb Sharp that's doing amazing things with Lansing Community College, and she's over, operations there and so many other things, and she's really the second in command at the college. And so we have a number of African American women that are doing good things, but there were people that paved the way for us where it might not have been as easy for them. And so today we're able to, enjoy, and now I'm able to help other African American women as they are making their way. And as I'm probably, in the next few years, I'm probably going to be sunsetting a career path. And so my role is to help others also be able to achieve those things. And while people, blaze a trail for me, hopefully I can blaze a trail for others and give back in that manner. So, but yeah, I think it's very important that we understand where we came from, those that paved the way for us to make it possible for us to be here, and that we leave a legacy and make it possible for others. I would say, set a goal for yourself and set at achieving that goal. And so for me, you heard me talk about while I didn't finish school initially, but that was something that I wanted to finish, even though I didn't necessarily need it because I had already been moving up the ranks in my career. Education is important. And when I think about African Americans and our total history, while I wanted to finish for my mom, I think about I was able to finish. That there was a time in our history that we wanted to be educated and we could not be educated. And so to not take that lightly. And so I definitely think that we should always make sure we have goals before us and that we strive to achieve those goals, but that we work very hard at our careers and sometimes, not so much here at LAFCU, but I have seen it out in the community where African Americans sometimes have to work harder than others. The playing field is not always level for us. And so making sure that we're presenting ourselves in a way that people are taking us serious and that we are endeavoring to do better and leave our community better, leave our companies better, leave our families better. And so that we're being honored in that way and that we're honoring in that way. To recognize Black History Month, my husband and I, we moved to Meridian Township about 5 years ago. I've not been able to yet get involved in Meridian Township, not that I don't want to do anything in that community. I just have been, a lot of my work has been tied to, my community service been tied to the Lansing area, just ride around, my community and Rotary and things like that, for my business rather. But we love Meridian Township. I love, going home to Meridian Township where we live. It's close to everything, shops and food, and so it's, the library and just the different things that we can do, the hiking, or not hiking, but walking trails and things like that. My community that we live in, we have a lot of walking trails that meander throughout our subdivision. It's a very peaceful community. It fits my husband and I and the things that we like to do. Very artsy. We like the farmers markets and things like that. So we do try to support the different events that are happening. So we're kind of finding our way and learning what's taking place in Meridian Township. And so but we enjoy it immensely. I would like to just say thank you to Meridian Township for putting together this interview and others that you are doing to recognize Black History Month and Women's Month coming up next month. And I think that's great that Meridian Township is doing this kind of thing. So thank you.